Welcome to the Pull Up a Chair show. I'm Dr. Krysti Wick.
And I'm Dr. Jake Greenocker.
And we are here to let you in on our in-depth conversations on chiropractic practice, personal development, leadership, and business excellence.
If you are needing inspiration, motivation, clarity, or permission in any of these areas of your life, we're glad you're here. Pull up a chair. Hey guys, welcome back to the Pull Up a Chair podcast. Whether you're watching or listening, whether this is your first time you're here or whether you've watched from the very beginning, welcome. We are so glad you're here. We have had lots of up and downs, and like anything, we just invite you to pull up a chair to conversations we're having. And one of them that we've been having lately is making sure that our entire team, associate doctors, staff, as well as ourselves, have a very detailed referral system in our office, right? When you want to know how to get referrals in your office, how do I get more referrals? How do I get more referrals? You have to have a system. So we want to cover it with you today as a hard hitter, as one that hopefully you take notes on, hopefully one that you can implement tomorrow, is one that we're creating a referral system in your office.
So both of us really have two sides to the system that are both implemented at multiple different points in the patient's journey. And so we want to start with just kind of the two sides to the system. So one, first and foremost, when Jake and I were talking before this about all of this, I'm just going to be candid, you guys. I was like, the first thing is don't be a pansy.
Yeah, I love that. Write that down.
Yeah, it's basically just, you have to be willing to talk to them about giving you referrals. And in my realm, I have never found it super authentic to like ask on a certain visit for referrals. I just really like to wait for the opportunities that make sense. Like if they're giving you an open door, I always call it. So let's say they're talking about a coworker or a friend or, a child. You have to be willing to walk through that door and have the conversation about a referral every single time. So really it's a philosophy. It's a way of living. Like a lot of chiropractors, honestly, you're kind of chickens about being willing to have that conversation because you're worried it's going to come across as salesy or whatever it is. But you also have to remember that they don't know what they don't know. And so if they might not even think about chiropractic for whatever they're talking to you about. And so it's your job to give them that opportunity and give it in a loving way where you're just presenting that. So really the first part is just the awareness and the thought process of keeping your ears open and being really open-minded about what's going to come across from a conversational basis throughout your day in and day out of practice, and be willing to have that conversation every single time.
Yeah, I always look at it as there's an awareness and there's entering the conversation, right? And if you've been around a long time, you're not getting referrals, sometimes just creating awareness again. Like, okay, I need to get back to entering that conversation. I need to get back to making sure that I enter the conversation or that conversation with them. It's creating that awareness in your mind. And then the next part is that's where the don't be a pansy comes in, is you have to recognize the open door. Sometimes it's open a crack, right? And sometimes it's open all the way and they're screaming in the doorway going, help me, help, right? But you got to understand what's just a crack. If they say, oh, I've been trying to get my husband to come in. They open the door a crack. They're asking for your help. Step into it. Oh yeah, what's going on with them? That's all it takes. That's stepping through the door, right? Opening the conversation. So then that leads to the next part with the two-headed monster we have is the awareness that don't be a pansy, right? The next part is having a physical, tangible asset that you can put in their hands, or better yet, help them do it, to give them to take that next step. We have our VIP cards. It's just a little business card size that we see some that are 5x7s and are pretty. They can be multiple different things. They can be a half sheet or they can be all kinds of things. The idea is it's something that you can put in their hand to give them, to lead them to that next step. So ours, our VIP card, saves them like $50 on that first visit, where you can actually physically then put it in their hand with, oh, their husband, oh, tell me what about him, oh, he's been having these headaches. Let's get him scheduled, give him this VIP card. Better yet, let's walk up front and let's get him scheduled. You probably know his schedule. Let's go up and get him scheduled. So handing them the card, and I'll let Krysti talk about this more because she's a ninja at this, but the idea of put the card in their hand is step one. That's an awesome step. But if you can take it like 10x it and walk them up front and get them scheduled, that's even better.
Yeah. So that's, when you have the opportunity to walk through that open door, if you will, when you're actually physically in the practice, it is so powerful to just take that next step and I literally will just walk them up to the front and I'll say, hey, Megan, Linda wants to schedule her husband Jim. Let's get him on the schedule, make sure that we get him all the paperwork. And like just that assumption handoff, we do really well with getting them on the schedule because oftentimes, even if they need to move their appointment a little bit, our CAs are very well trained in knowing like, let's just get something on the books and then they can go home and talk it over. And it's easy to call or text in, move it around a little bit if we need to. So that's our 10X strategy with that. But we want to give you a couple key tactical opportunities through that patient journey, like we talked about, where this is something that you can easily type out and then just start training with your team on every single one of these different points in the journey, because it is very likely that these are similar. You know, what happens in your office is similar as what happens in our office. So this is going to be easy for you to build out this system and then just start being really conscious about you and your team members following this on a regular basis, and you'll see your referrals go up. They absolutely will. What you give attention to grows, and this is no different, right? So really your first opportunity to walk through that open door, actually, you're going to kind of create this open door, is on the first phone call. We like to have our CAs ask, is this appointment for you or for your entire family? And so just right off the bat, that helps them start thinking about, oh, like, why would my whole family want to come in for care? And they must be a family practice. And this might be a different, you know, like a wellness strategy, like just starts putting some curiosity and some questions in their brain. Is this something where, you know, 50% of people that call our office as new patients schedule their whole family? No. It's definitely not, you know, that's not something that's going to happen to you more than likely, but you're starting the process of them thinking about the people that are closest to them in their life that they care the most about. And so you want to start that process of them thinking about their family members right away from the first phone call so that you can build on that in the future with all these other opportunities we're going to talk about.
Yep. You can continue with the tour. If you're giving them a tour of your practice on that very first visit, you can show them, hey, that's a kids' play area. We have lots of families that come in here. Again, are you saying you need to get your entire family scheduled by next visit or you're going to die? Like, no, you're just opening a door for them. Like, oh, we see lots of families. We see lots of kids, right? That's the first opportunity. The next is on that first visit. A lot of times, and I know you've had this if you're a great chiropractor, where you start wowing them, right? You're calling the pocket. You're wowing them with like how interconnected all these things are and your scanning technology and all the stuff you're doing. And you hear the things like, oh my gosh, my husband needs to do this. Or, oh my gosh, I need to do this with my oldest kid. Step into the conversation. We see tons of families. We can absolutely get them in. We'll get them a VIP card. We'll get them scheduled. They can get set up and we'll go through the exact same thing with them. It's just leading that conversation, but don't let that go to waste. If they're at that point, get them committed, get them in at that moment.
Then number 3 is in your report packet. So probably most of you, if you're listening, do some sort of day 1, day 2 type process. You probably have, you know, some sort of report type thought process. In our office, both of us do a full report of findings on day 2, and we provide a folder with information that we go over with the new patient. And in that folder, there's really 2 different things that you can pop in there to help continue this referral conversation. One, if you do any kind of family pricing in your office, you want to highlight that in the ROF folder. So we have a handout that's just fully about how we love to see full families and what that looks like from our family pricing perspective. Obviously, you need to do your due diligence in your state based on insurance and blah, blah, blah. Like we're not an expert on that. So you need to decide on that. But, you know, both of us have full cash practices. And so that's something that you can do. And then also providing a few of those VIP cards in your report folder so that when in my instance, when a CA goes in to do the financials and book them out, there's a few key pieces in the packet that she goes over that I don't go over. And that's one of them. So she's going to pull those out. She's going to explain what they are. She's going to explain that there's 2 in the packet, but if she, you know, they want to tell more people at work about it, then obviously there's more where that came from. And she's going to just talk to them about what that provides the person that they're referring and so on and so forth. So she's having that conversation so that they know already on visit 2 what that looks like, what's available to them, especially if it didn't come up with us in the new patient.
Awesome. Number 4 and 5 surrounds table talks and then progress exams. So, right. So in table talks, you're just looking for the opportunity to step in, right? This is going to happen very frequently in the first bit of care when they're getting great results and they're having all this stuff. They're going to start opening the door to their coworker that has headaches, or their daughter who's got bedwetting issues, or their husband who's got all this stuff. They're going to start opening that door a crack. And that's what Krysti said earlier. Just make sure you're willing to step in through it and step to it, and have some of your VIP cards in the rooms, right? Or make sure they're up front in a very dedicated area so you can walk up there and make sure they get it. So just be willing to walk through that door. Progress exams is one where it's just make a question. If some of you have like a little questionnaire that you ask on the progress exams, one of the questions we have on there is, do you have any friends, family, loved ones that would benefit from care here, or that would love to see the same results that you're getting here, or some type of question that is just a simple yes or no, right? And then it could say, can we get them a VIP card? But if they circle yes, our staff and everybody's like, hey, we saw that you had someone, who can we get a VIP card for? So again, stepping through the conversation, table talk was 4, then 5 being the progress exams, just having some little question on there.
And that's all she wrote. So you could literally listen to this quick hitter episode. You can write down all of those different pieces, and you can make that your internal referral system. You can definitely train your team, as I talked about before. Like, these are conversations that need to be practiced with your team. And if you're a newer doc, you also need to practice them. So, sit down. If you don't have a CA, you can sit down with, a friend over Zoom that you graduated with, whatever it may be. But getting more natural with these conversations and making sure that it's authentic to you and it feels very easy for you to offer them the opportunity. Because again, that's what we want you to remember. This isn't about just building your practice. This is about offering them an opportunity to have their nervous system checked and addressed as needed so that they can live a higher quality of life. Like, there's really no more noble cause than that. And so you being willing to educate them and give them that opportunity is part of your calling. It's part of why you decided to become a chiropractor. And so when you choose to take these opportunities and you choose to educate people, it's really a big snowball effect when it comes to your legacy. So do your very best after listening to this. If you're one of those people that's like, oh, I wouldn't be able to do that, it just feels too salesy, you really have to start asking yourself if you're just not giving them the opportunity to explore what this option looks like for other people in their lives and how that aligns with the legacy that you want to leave. Because we can tell you from experience, when you're willing to do these things, it will provide not only obviously greater results for you, but you're going to feel a lot more fulfilled because you're helping the people that you were willing to step out and talk about how to get in and get checked and get results. So it's going to create results for you and for them. Such a win-win. Get it all written.
Yes.
Do your practicing, and away you go.
So I want to leave you with this one thing too, is I think if you just went through these things and you had a handout and you had something you give them, that is getting yourself to a B level, like, referral system, right? If you want to take to that A level, like what Krysti said earlier, walking that up, taking that extra step, take the decision out of their hand and start making the decision for them. I didn't realize my wallet was sitting right here, but I have some of the VIP cards in the wallet. And literally, I just did this yesterday when I was out. I ran into someone, they're talking about, I'm like, hey, take a VIP card, make sure you call the office, tell them I gave this to you. It'll make sure you save some money in the visit. But better yet, Sarah, I'm actually headed back to the office right now. Give me your phone number. When I get back, I'll have Crystal text you to start the whole conversation. Can have it via text, and that way she can get it started. She can let you know what you need to know, and it'll take it from there. So it's preventing this card from going in her purse or in her glove box or forgetting to do something about it. I'm physically taking her contact information, giving it to my staff, sending them loose on them. That's how you get to an A+ level of a referral system. But take all these 5, 6 things we went through. Where can you implement these strategies? How can you at least get them to a B first, and then boom, how can you take them to an A+ level? So hope this was beneficial to all of you, and we'll see you next time on Pull Up a Chair. Thanks for tuning in to the Pull Up a Chair show.
Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the show on your favorite platform, make sure you hit subscribe so you never miss an episode.
If you found value in today's episode, please share it with a colleague. We would be honored.
To connect with us, you can find us on IG at The Pursuit Chiros, or you can email us at connect@thepursuitkairos.com.